Welcome back to the podcast, episode 11.
Good to be here.
We've almost been doing this for a year, guys. It's pretty nuts. My name is Daniel Katzman. I'm a financial services professional out of Newport Beach.
I'm Ian White, financial planner.
Bryn Parmenter with Parmenter Insurance Agency.
And Moustafa, who's from Paradise Photography OC.
Moose, you brought a guest.
I did. Please, everybody meet Emily Rogers. She is the founder of Soul Aloe LLC. Emily attended her MBA from UCI and had a successful career in corporate America, specifically in the medical device product management. Very nice. However, a series of spiritual experiences led her to open Soul Aloe. So
It's actually aloe.
Aloe.
That's okay.
Like aloe for your soul.
Yeah, like the plant, not a metal.
Moose is still learning to read. It's okay.
I can help.
I'm behind a little bit.
The photo is worth 1,000 words. So.
Exactly.
You
I
don't
hear
need
you
to
just
read
came
for
back
that.
from Costa Rica.
Yeah, 3 months ago actually.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
I'm a
the last
little
time
late
I
to the
saw you
party.
guys.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, so Soul Aloe is like aloe for your soul. I do spiritual wellness, so I help people along their own journey to get to where they want to be, whether that be greater peace, less anxiety, more money, different career, manifest a lover. Like I can really help remove some of those blocks that we all have and help you see, you know, where it is that you really want to go and how you can do that for yourself. That's really fun.
And you just took the leap of leaving the corporate world recently.
I did last week.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it's still there now. Yeah.
Super new, yeah.
So tell us how did it feel? How scary was it?
It was extremely scary. I would say though, I've been working on it for like a year.
Okay.
About a year ago, I wanted to leave my company I was at, so I was interviewing at other places like similar type of jobs. But when I was interviewing, like I could feel that my heart wasn't into it anymore, because you know that feeling, like I don't know if you guys can relate, when you're talking but you're almost like dead inside.
Yeah.
You're literally just speaking from the script.
Yeah, like
Not
you
even
know
there.
the lingo, you know what they want to hear, like you've done it 100 times, so you already know like the steps and everything. And that's how I felt when I was interviewing. And when you go on a spiritual journey, like you really get into it and you do the plant medicine and everything, your heart becomes bigger and you can no longer ignore the voice. So I felt like, oh, okay, I can't even do this line. I can't interview anymore. So I like pulled myself out of interviewing. But I had started this business in December, and then I opened the actual location in March, which is in Lake Forest. So I was doing both for a bit, but you're like working all day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, when you go on your spiritual journey, you know you're not meant to live life that way. You're not meant to grind all day, despite what culture says.
The very U.S. mindset.
Yeah. Like, you have one life to live. You're really going to spend it doing emails all day. Like,
I think about that all
you're going to
the
be
time.
80, and you're going to be like, no one's going to think, I wish I sent more emails in my life. So it was a kind of a battle inside for me, too, because I'm working all the time, but I know I'm not, like, that's not my purpose is not to be grinding all day. But I just was waiting for the right time, and I felt like that was last week, so.
Well, congratulations.
Congrats, for sure.
Thank you.
This is really going to help with our audio quality overall. Our audio man's going to be really happy.
Can you hear us over there?
Shout out the comment guy.
Okay.
I'm just messing around. Our audio producer decided to comment back to one of our haters, and I really appreciated it. So shout out Quick Media.
Moose brought 2 guests today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Moose brought 2 guests.
Yes,
You
we'll
want to
talk
introduce your
about
second
that.
guest?
This is Princess Amidala. So if we want to jump at the rosebud and thorn, this is my rose this week.
Alrighty.
So for Rosebud and Thorn, I just got a new puppy, and we started renting out the studio now. So
Exciting.
people can actually start.
We're at.
In Kodo.
Yeah?
So I have a full set of studio lighting, backdrops, everything, and I just had one of chamber members actually, Sarah. I'm horrible with the last names.
Sarah Yes.
Judes?
No, the photographer Sarah. So I think she's with Ladera.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We met her at the last mixer.
so she rented out the studio last week with Adrian, with Mary Kay.
Yeah, she mentioned it,
Yeah.
Daybreakers.
Yeah, and they had an amazing photo shoot, man. So that was exciting. You know, it was nice renting out the studio.
Nice.
And then lots of bookings for the end of the year. I'm excited
Oh,
for that.
yeah, it's about to be your crazy season,
Yeah.
huh?
Oh, the holidays?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All your clients are about to meet Dalma, baby.
Oh, yes. And then Bud, we have the Women in Business coming up. They just asked me to be the photographer for that. So
Oh, nice.
Congrats.
excited for that. We sponsored it for the past 2 years, so it's an exciting time that I'm looking forward to. And then Thorn is just asking for more help with everything that's been coming up. I have a hard time. We actually talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
I have a hard time, asking for help. So I actually asked Nick recently for some help with one of the bodybuilding competition, and he was there.
So he's training now.
Nick is. I'm learning from Nick.
No, he meant he was training in the competition. He was
Oh,
bodybuilding. He was
training like,
bodybuilding.
oh yeah, we're building him up.
You guys have no idea the beast we have behind the camera. He's oiled up right now. It's insane. He's ready to go at all times. I'm just kidding. Love you, Nick. But yeah, so that's heck yeah,
Yeah, it's exciting times for me, man.
awesome.
No Thorn. There we go.
That was the Thorn.
No,
The
thank
Thorn
you.
is, yeah,
Had
just
trouble
asking.
sleeping.
Yeah.
Nick's becoming a bodybuilder.
Yeah, that,
Exactly.
Nick is too big.
yeah, that's the Thorn. Nick is too big to be behind the camera these days.
That's the situation. Yeah,
all
everyone's
right.
gonna look it up quick media. Like, what is the Hulk? Emily, you want to tell us about your Rosebud Thorn?
Okay, I haven't played this before. So Rose, I mean, being on my own, having the freedom without my job, like to run, like the freedom of my time, the freedom to choose what I want to do has been amazing. A bud is something growing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we could say my business again, because now I finally have the flexibility to book more clients, because I didn't before. Because conflict of interest when you have a job, like I couldn't even have clients during the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then a thorn, I don't know. I think kind of to your first question of what was it like, like leaving a corporate job that's stable and you have your 401k and you have, you already know how to do the job and it's not, like you're not really stressed. There's a lot of fear, of course, that comes up with like leaving your job and just betting on yourself and stepping out and just believing like I can succeed. So I think I guess a thorn is just still working through those every day and like making sure you align your mind right when you wake up in the morning and like you're doing that all throughout the day so that like the thorns don't overtake you.
Yeah, it's all up to you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that so much. The thorn and the rose are combined. The whole freedom of your time, I think that's a farce. Because that thorn is in your side. I don't know. I feel like it's
You
stuck.
have the freedom to do whatever you want, but you better be working.
Yeah, I'm a stuck horse. You know what I mean? I feel like do you know how they make bulls buck? Or in bull
Oh,
competitions?
I do.
Yeah. They're
poking them.
Yeah, they tie a freaking real tight, belt on them with stickers, real close to the, parts. And those are the thorns, of like the stresses of like, hey, whoa, I'm out here, I'm doing this all by myself. There is no, I just show up, clock in, make sandwiches and then leave or whatever. And I'm sorry, my formal training was Jersey Mike's, So, those were the jobs before you're an adult or whatever. But, so yeah, like you're stuck, dude. Those thorns hurt so much that like the rose is dead. Like I don't know, there is no freedom of time, but you get over the hump, you get through that. You know what I mean?
Talk about that
It's
more.
beautiful, because my rose is I went fishing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Freedom of time. What did I do the previous 2 months? I spent 8 hours a day cold calling. The other 5 hours doing meetings. I had meetings at 5 a.m., meetings at 8 p.m. I worked all that stuff so that I could step away. It was more of an emergency situation, and the chamber's gonna hate me because I was like, my dad needs me. That was the call I did get, but he did need me to come deckhand on his boat so that they could fish in the tournament, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was fun for me, but it is what it is.
You gotta live your life sometimes.
You have to, right?
And
so
you probably feel guilty about doing it too.
I felt like I got called. I had to call in, and I was calling with you. Like I really wanted to be there. Like I have big dreams and big aspirations for what this young professionals group is going to look like, and to not put in the time and effort, we talked about this, is it's bad. I won't do that. I need to put more effort in, and we've both talked about it, and we're going to, right? This is a promise to you guys, and this is a promise to you guys. We're going to be working harder, and we're going to be putting out more events, and we're going to really try to make this grow because it's better for everybody in this room, plus everybody out there, to help grow their business. And so that was, I guess, a thorn, right? Taking some time to be with family when they call to go do something that I love to do is coming back to it's hurting what I'm trying to do with work. So that's kind of a conflict of interest per se that we're trying to work out. But the bud that's coming out of it is there's crazy crap or stuff that's happening all the time. Beat that, brother. But I'm meeting great people all the time. The people that were cold calling, like I talked to the guy that built Jimmy Kimmel's Kitchen today, just off a cold call. Like that's so weird, And of course it didn't work out, but he said, this would have been a great call 20, 30 years ago. And I started going for referrals. I'm like, anybody out there, young bucks that are trying to start their business, please, don't hesitate to send them my way. Clearly I'm trying to start my thing, and I'd love to help anybody along the way. And so there's stuff happening on the business side. There's stuff happening as far as I might be, moving my book of business to a better firm, because I'm being recruited by a senior advisor, all this stuff. There's stuff percolating inside my business, which is phenomenal. There's money coming in. It's awesome. Like I'm going to double my book within the next, by the 29th. Which
I believe
is,
it.
No, like it's already on its way. Like it's crazy.
Oh, nice.
And so, and it's just you keep going and keep going, and you'll get there eventually, and that's the bud, right? It's happening. But I don't know. I'll quit rambling. What's going on with you, brother?
Yeah, my rose has nothing to do with business. Kindergarten, first week is over.
Nice.
We're on the second week and everything's going great. He's made a friend.
Nice.
He's really enjoying it.
It's not imaginary.
No,
Okay.
I met him. He told me the other day that he's like, Dad, I think that I'm actually doing more work than you now. And
Out the door.
hey, it's great.
I remember kindergarten. That was hard.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's like, but it's also easier than I thought it'd be. Like, it's a lot of work to sit down and do the things, but the things themselves are easy. And so that it's just fun getting to
Super
insight
cool
into
to be a dad.
his life.
That's cool.
So that was awesome because I always worry the friends part. He's a very sociable guy, but if he doesn't make friends, that's not something I can help him with, at least not in the moment.
Now you just have to worry about those friends' parents. You're not going to deal with that.
Exactly. Yep.
It's Ian. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. He'll be their advisor by the end of the semester. Don't worry about it. They have to worry about Ian. Okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if the parents are not good or if the kid's not good, then
you do
we're
have
done
to
with
change.
that.
Yeah.
And that's also hard to say. You can't hang around that
God.
person anymore.
That must be spooky as a dad.
Yeah, but that's the
Worrying
life
about
of
your
the
son
parent.
making friends? I didn't even know that was going to be a worry, man.
I know. So luckily, I think he's going to be a lot more popular than I was when I was a kid. So I think he might be in for a blessed life, but we'll see. Bud.
He's got you as a dad, bro. It's gonna.
Well, yeah,
it'll be
obviously
alright.
that's awesome.
It'll be alright.
Bud I just started working with a new business on their retirement plan. They've got quite a few employees, and I really like working with businesses. First of all, I work with a lot of businesses, but it's usually, most of them are either owner only, attorneys, stuff like that. They make a lot of money, but they don't really need a lot of employees, or they've got a few employees. So having a lot, that gives me the ability to build relationships with this company, with all the people. It's a lot more interesting and demanding than just trying to make one person's financial situation work. Now it's an entire company's worth, which is pretty fulfilling. And I tried really hard. I can't think of a thorn.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah, it's going pretty good right now.
Your AC was set at 68 when it was supposed to be 70.
That's the
There you
thorn,
go.
yeah. It was at 72 and I walk in at 67.
Oh,
So that's
man.
the thorn, is the AC sometimes doesn't like me.
Living a hard life right now, man.
Right.
It's tough.
Yeah.
All right, mine, Rose isn't exactly work related either. Got out of the office this month, went up to Convict Lake, went camping for a couple days, camping, fishing, just kind of got away from stuff. I mean, I still worked both days I was away. I worked Thursday morning and was making calls Friday morning, so it was right next to Mammoth, so I was getting into a coffee shop. So of course still doing a bit of work, but it's nice just kind of get outside and just kind of get away from the cell phone for a little bit, things like that. It's too easy to scroll on Reels and TikTok too often, so it was kind of nice just not to have service, hang out with some friends, and just kind of get away from everything for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The Bud, I gave myself a goal for a business I wanted to close from June through the end of the year. Looks like we may hit that by the end of this week. So
Yes.
very excited about that. A lot of stuff. Just old clients that were like, hey, it's not working out right now this year, but maybe next year, before you know it, it's next year, and they're reaching out again, and it did work out. So good stuff like that, but the thorn goes into the same, sure as you know too, as the book of business grows, the more work it takes to keep up with it. You're having people filing claims, you have changes to policies, growing businesses, sometimes classifications on policies are switching, so it's just more and more work always, but I mean, it's a good problem to have, and yeah, even when you're doing all that service work too, and sometimes it feels like you're chasing the goalpost is moving, right? When you finish one thing, the next thing comes in, but then hearing from clients like, hey man, thank you so much, I haven't worked with someone, an agent like this that does that stuff, makes it all worth it again too. So
Amen.
it feels good, but it also, there's times where I'm like, man, I wish I could just turn my phone off and like sleep for a couple
Run.
days. yeah.
What
but-
monster have I created?
yeah, but no, things are going good though. So yeah.
Yeah, there's no more monster under the bed that you have, like, are scared of. You made this monster. You know, it's
Maybe
a
you're
phenomenal
scared
thing.
to stop.
Yeah. So.
Of course we are. That's the thorn. Like when you first started, where you're at, right? Where you're like, what do I do? You know,
Yeah.
that thorn is the thing, that monster under our bed now.
Well, I'm not actually worried though.
That's good.
It's good.
I need whatever you're on, man.
Yeah.
That's
You gotta make it more of the getting out of the office and hanging out with your dad. That's our whatever comes up. Like, life's too short where it's like working is great, but I mean something I learned earlier. It's you never know how much time you have with people. So if you have the opportunities, take it. So.
Amen. No, I'm very grateful, and I try to do my best with that, because it's something that I made a promise to myself in the beginning of this, and the great part about our career and the way we can work our career is you can really make. My promise was I'm not gonna take a step towards my career if I cannot take the same step with my mental health.
That's
And
good.
so it's like, I'm not going to be the guy that's like, sitting in the ivory tower drinking, 18 bottles of bourbon a night trying to just miserable. Like that.
But the money.
I saw that. No,
Yeah.
I saw that happen,
Yeah.
firsthand. And I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, so I realized like, I need to make sure I can be looking at myself every day, keeping myself accountable every single day. And that's what, every career is, everything is sales, but especially in the financial industry, you're selling yourself. So you have to be, put together,
It's easier to sell
educated.
something you like. So you should probably try to like yourself.
Yeah.
That too, right? And the generational wealth, all those things, right? You have to like sell prosperity, right? You have to sell the American dream, and so you start to believe in these things, or you start to push to believe in them, start to understand why you believe in them, all these things, and so that's I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but So, articles, huh? Anybody got any cool articles they've been reading?
Actually, before we get to the article,
Yeah, go
we
ahead.
do the events.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Recent.
I was
events.
just gonna leave that for the end, but we're in.
Yes, we actually have some really cool events coming up for the chamber. The first is, this is my favorite event of the year. It is Restaurant Week, where you just go out and eat as much as you can, but there's a catch. What?
No, I'm just giving you snaps.
Okay.
That sounds awesome. I'm so excited for Restaurant Week. And then
there's a
check
lot
out
of
my
restaurants
head.
that are a part of the Mission Viejo Chamber that have signed up for this, so they're being marketed. You know, we want to give back to the community and basically give these amazing restaurants, which already have great food, we just want to give them a little bit of extra love. So we're all going out to eat as much as possible. I'll be working out twice as much just to keep all the weight up.
He actually runs the restaurants. It's cool.
Yeah, there and back.
But that is from September 9th to the 15th. So if any of you are going to any of these restaurants, go to the chamber website to look at the list and just let them know that, hey, you know,
You're
Hmm?
not gonna read off every restaurant.
Oh yeah, at least 20.
There's so many, yeah.
Cut to the close-up.
Yeah. We'll
So-
just have a fast forwarded thing at the very end with all of them go down. Nick doesn't have enough work already, right?
Yeah, so that's always a fun one. And then we've got a ribbon cutting, Jovive Wound Care. It's also September 9th, so 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. That is going to be a great event because we get to meet our medical director of that facility, Bill Curry, and just learn about what they do. So it'll be a fun event. So I'll check it out. And Danny, do you have anything citywide?
Yeah, lots of awesome city events coming up. Of course, it's Mission Viejo. You guys know, right? So coming up in September, you got Let's Go Digital September 1st, Upcycled Craft September 3rd, Tuesday on the Terrace Fall Concert September 3rd, Reading Buddies September 5th, Farmers Market September 7th, Lord of the Strings, Dr. Martin Taylor, September 7th. I know we'll all be there for that. That sounds thrilling. American Mahjong Club. You play that, don't you? No. Sorry, September 9th coming up. Planning and transportation. That's a fantastic little city thing that they do. Commission meeting. Got to attend that September 9th at 6:30. You got the city council meeting September 10th, another riveting one. Teen, you coloring for adults September 11th. Tons of fun coming events. You got to check out MV Life, great app with all the city-wide events. Get involved in your community. Now can we get into articles?
Absolutely.
We can skip the article since we have a guest and just
Sure.
start the guest.
Let's get into it.
All right.
We were already kind of getting into it, and then we jumped into the Rosebud Thorn.
Do you edit this or you just?
No, I had it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
He does a lot of work. Poor guy, man.
It's pretty much just free scroll. It's pretty cool.
We mainly just cut out everything that Danny said.
That's
Yeah.
You put like a blur over here.
I'm the dead air.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, so I'd love to learn more about your business because you mentioned before that, we're not meant to just be working all the time. I think about that a lot because, there's a time 1,000 years ago where you live in your village and you have your tasks that you have to do, but most of the year your job is to be with the people in your village.
Yeah.
Or you've got a kid, everybody knows you got a 2-year-old, they come with you everywhere and they're just there and everyone takes care of them.
Yeah.
And then we got into this weird era where you have to have kids, but you're not allowed to let anyone know you have kids, right? If they get sick, figure it out. You got to go to work. Like they can't be anywhere in public if they're going to be a human. No tantrums, no emotions. And oh, by the way, you're an adult. You're not allowed to have emotions either. And just keep working forever.
Yeah.
So hopefully you have a solution to that.
And I think probably even more for men than women.
Yeah.
The last part of what you said. So hopefully I have a solution for that. Let me think. So it's definitely a process, and you gradually figure it out. if you are courageous enough to really ask yourself, like, honestly, how am I doing? And honestly, how am I feeling? Because one day you're going to decide what is most important to me is myself, because this is my only lifetime as this person. So, like, you're only going to be you guys. Like, there's never going to be someone that's exactly like you guys, right?
Until they clone me.
Oh god.
Would you be the first one cloned?
One Danny's enough.
Let's pick someone else to be close.
I've already submitted my 23andMe. I'm ready to go. Sorry, keep going.
No, you're good. Comic relief is good. Because we could get, like, really deep if you want. But, your life is only one time ever. And, like, you are made in such a unique way, right? Like, no one looks like you, no one talks like you, no one feels like you, no one thinks like you. So at some point you're going to decide honoring how I really feel and what I really need is more important than anything, than the people texting me, than the clients that I have, than my family. Because when you take care of you, you have so much more to give, and you elevate everyone around you.
Exactly.
So, like, when you're not, you're actually kind of not helping your community. And so it takes a long time, though, to unravel what you think you need or want to get to what you truly need or want. Because, like, we think we want these things that society tells us we should have, or social media, religion, or family. And so we think we need to have kids and not ask for help and, like, pretend we don't have kids when we're at work, you know? But that's
I didn't even know you had a kid.
Currently in kindergarten.
Whoa, they're growing up fast.
Yeah. But, at some point you're going to be like, it doesn't feel right for me to not talk about my kid or, like, be there when he's sick. Like, I would rather do that. And it's scary, like, so when we were talking about, like, me leaving my job, it's scary when you leave the thing that you think you're supposed to have.
You kind of tie your identity to it as well.
Yeah. So, like, the plant medicine thing basically helps you kill that off, your ego identity. And that's why it's so hard, because it's all you've ever known.
Yeah.
So to actually say goodbye to, like, everything you believe you are, even the way you process information, and, like, actually, like, it's actually so hard when you're in that moment, and like the medicine asks you, like, are you ready? Like, that's what happened for me. Like, it's like, are you ready? And I was not. I was like, no. And then it's just
too late.
Painful. I think then we call mama like a feminine, so, like, she just let me die really slowly. So, like, even just for, like, days, weeks, I'm probably, like, still, like, I am still shutting things off, but it's a process. But if you're, like, brave enough to actually say, like, I believe I came here for a purpose, like, beyond what I'm told I should do, I'm willing to look within to find the answer, because there's no answers outside of you. So, like, just to, like, bring it back to my business, like, I'm not here giving you answers necessarily, but I can help guide you to find your own answers. Because only you know what you truly need, what you truly want, what your, like, gifts are. But you might not know them right now because you've been in this, like,
well, because your mom told you to stop doing that, it's annoying.
Yeah.
You've internalized that.
Yeah, and then, like,
really
at
sad.
work on your performance review, they say you do this too much, and then you're like, okay, I, like, try to change or whatever. And some of that is, some of that, yeah, or it's, you have that behavior because of something you're not, like, I used to actually be really a cranky person at work. Not maybe the past... Yeah, I know, right? Not the past few years, but, like, if we went back, like, 6 or 7 years, like, I was not a very nice person at work, actually. because I was really irritable, and like that's just the culture. We were in like this type A kind of like cutthroat culture. It's like all about
Which
numbers.
is for, right? Sorry.
Probably.
Beep it.
Well, it probably felt normal because
It
that's
was
probably
normal.
how
It was
everyone
culture.
else was too.
Yeah, it was normal.
And they didn't think you were unusual because that's how they were.
Yeah.
And that gets rewarded in that type of culture. Well, it's like, oh, they're doing that, and they're
Yeah.
making more money, and everyone's like, it's all about money.
Yeah.
Eventually gets turned into money, and well, if
Yeah.
you do it right, you make more money, you get things, and everyone wants new things, right? Because that'll make you happy.
Yeah, or they lay off more people, and then you take on more work, and then you're even more irritable because now you're even more stressed. And I kind of forgot why I was talking about that.
I'm sorry. That was my fault.
No.
Well, it was just rebuilding those pathways in your brain. I heard someone
Yeah.
say that it was like the lives we have now. It's a mountain, and there are paths that you've snowboarded down or skied so many times that there is no other paths. It's those. And then when you do what you did, there's a whole fresh blanket of snow, and you're literally making new pathways in your brain that you couldn't do before.
Yeah, and then a lot of it is when you get back to like it just I feel like it shakes up your everything you believed was real, and then when you get back, integration is really the most important thing. So how are you going to apply what you just realized, like your extremely heightened awareness of yourself and like human beings? Like how are you going to actually implement that in your life? Because you kind of can't really go back. Like it's really hard to live the same life after.
Yeah.
So there's almost like a warning or a disclaimer, like be aware your whole life could change because you realize it doesn't align with you anymore.
You can't take the red pill and be like, just kidding.
Yeah,
just kidding.
like, I'll just go back.
Put me back in the simulation.
You'd said you've been having like it's been for like the past year, so it wasn't like it was
Yeah.
all brand new stuff too. It was like some like you were already kind of going down that path. You were already like, all right, I don't know if this is like this corporate,
Yeah.
the same old is what you want to keep doing. So
Yeah.
it kind of was just
It's
like that
it's
next
like
step.
literally we have one little step at a time. Yeah, everything in your life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so did you always know you like what the core of your business is now? Is that something that's evolved over time, or is that something where you're like, I have this passion towards this direction and it's kind of always been that, or is it as you've moved away from that job you've kind of expanded and grown through that?
Yeah, no, I love that question. I feel like I am so different than a year ago, like 4 months ago, and then like a month ago. Like literally your if you decide you want to evolve, your evolution can be so fast. And so none of this I ever dreamed of like a year ago, I would say. But at the same time, I noticed that a lot of my skills for my whole life are helping me now on this new path. So like maybe you're like going down the snowboard path and then you decide like I don't even want to be on this mountain, but the stuff you learned isn't wasted. So like you can take so many of all your skills and still just put them in another direction.
Yeah.
But a lot of this stuff is pretty new for me. Yeah, but I love it. So I love it so much. So when I'm doing both jobs, when I was doing both jobs, I'm doing this business on the side, and I'm like, oh my God, I like this so much more. It doesn't feel like I'm working. I could sit here for hours. Can't even believe I get paid at the end.
That's awesome.
Like I could do this. And people say that, like, find a job you love and you never work.
Find something you love, you never work a day in your
Yeah,
life,
and I was like, oh, okay. But like once you feel it, it's so hard to do your other job.
It's hard to go back once you kind of see both sides of the coin. You're like,
oh,
really?
wait, I could make a life where this is my life. Like I actually don't even feel like I work. Like when like Moose came yesterday, I mean, I could have sat there for. It doesn't even feel like working.
Well, when you love what you do, you can spend all the time in the world
and
doing
it's
it.
so for me, it's so fulfilling because like I feel like I really help someone feel better. So that's kind of my thing is like providing soothing like aloe for people along their journey, because we all carry so much, and we we're all trying to accomplish so much. We all have so much pressure. So if I can like alleviate that, so you can have more clarity, you can like hear your intuition more, you could sleep better. Like if I can help with those things, like that gives me so much fulfillment.
Yeah.
Which shout out actually to her. She did make me feel better after our session yesterday. So.
Good.
That's awesome.
What would you say to the guy that says pressure makes diamonds?
Well, it's not necessarily that pressure is bad. So, and it's not even that fear is bad, but it's understanding like, okay, I have this pressure. Like, let's say like right now, I don't have my salary, right? And so there's pressure for me to grow my business. But what is pressure in that example? Pressure is fear that I won't succeed. And so what is fear that I won't succeed? It's like, I don't believe in myself. I don't believe that there's a higher power like providing for me. Like I don't trust my choices, whatever it is. That's like what it actually is. If I feel pressure, that's what it actually like really is. And then like you can transmute that energy, which is fearful energy, into a different one once you like learn some of these things that I can help teach you, like meditation. And then because you have to quiet the fear and you have to get grounded in something greater, and then you literally don't worry about it. And it's such a process though, and it's an everyday kind of thing. And you have to have the right community around you. You have to like eat healthy. You have to like give yourself the platform to succeed in that type of mindset. Because most people, like I think you said something earlier. Most people are scared to join the chamber. I think, even though they want to. It's just like that. So you can't surround yourself with most people anymore. You have to carefully select who you're going to be around if you decide that you want to live this other life, because 90% of people are not living that life. So you can't look like... It's
hard to live in fear once you've gotten out of it. Because just being around somebody who's fearful or negative, it's...
But there's always more fear actually, like the deeper... So you get out of that and then you're in a new pond, and then you go deeper... And then there's more fear. There's a new depth of fear. So now you have to figure out how to get. It's just we're an onion, right? So it's like forever, this process. But it's always about prioritizing you. Like, how important are you to you?
I think that's what's the hardest for a lot of people. Because
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that don't value themselves, and that's so hard. Because
it's so common though, and it's like also not anyone's fault, because we're born into a really difficult environment. Like, I mean, first world problems kind of, but we are born into a lot of pressure and like a lot of trauma from parents, like passed down to us, like our childhood, and then like bullying at school or whatever it is. A lot of people have really sad, really difficult childhoods. So it's not their fault that when they're an adult, they're scared to do stuff.
Yeah.
But at some point, it's like, well, when are you ready to rewrite that and take your power back and really create a life that, when you look back, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm amazing. I can do anything. I was just holding myself back all this time because what they told me when I was a kid, or what like my ex told me, or whatever. So at some point, for me anyway, I think life is always going to try to get you to come back to your soul. So it's gonna okay, business is good, but if you keep ignoring it, something will happen that will make you have to take a step back and be like,
yep, I see that a lot.
Beep it.
Yeah. Because you're not meant to live like this numb life where you go through the motions.
I read something. We somehow, some way, we are the universe observing ourselves, which is because we're all just star matter.
What hippy dippy trippy shit are you listening to, brother?
If you don't believe in God,
you best be listening to the Wall Street Journal, son.
or reincarnation, then this is the only life we get. So we are stardust that somehow became sentient and got to see, right, the stars and the galaxies in the universe. And that's
then
pretty
we're
cool.
worm food, baby.
Exactly. So make something out of it.
100%. You have to.
And to your point, I think pressure, it's who's doing the pressure? Is it outside pressure from family, from work,
Societal,
from TV
internal
ads,
pressure.
or is it internal? Is it my passion, my need to become myself that's causing the pressure?
I think it's my societal duty that is my pressure. At the end of the day, right? I was given so much fortune and so much opportunity that if I just pissed it away being a dummy, then I might as well just go and nuke Baton Rouge. You know what I mean? Because these people
That was
are
oddly specific.
Well, I'm sorry. I went to Baton Rouge, right? I went
Yeah.
to school in Louisiana. I went to school in Baton Rouge. I saw how, no offense, love y'all, horrible it was, right? The struggles that you went through, right? I'm living in a nice dorm, cushy, blasting music, having a great time, and then across the road is a house that's falling apart that some a woman and 3 kids has to live in. What in the world am I going to do with my life to do something about this, possibly, right? To try to, help bring, education as far as generational wealth improvement, or, how to, try to, any sort of financial education. These are the duties and obligations that I have, and these are the thorns that I have. I don't know.
Well, and there's the duty to help others, but there's also the duty to yourself to make sure you're treating yourself right. I think it was on the point where it's so much you'll say things to yourself you'd never say to somebody else, and so you kind of you put yourself down.
Oh, mean mofo.
Yeah, no, and I do it. I see it sometimes as a form of motivation to myself. But you're beating up on yourself so much that you'd never do to somebody else. Sometimes you have to give back to yourself and kind of let yourself live or let yourself enjoy a little bit. If you're doing everything because you're supposed to do it, then you're not doing anything that you want to do.
Yeah, but those late nights where you're just sitting up, you're like, what am I doing, bro? Or like at the end of
So
that,
you
when
gotta go to bed, man.
No, but when you get
That
through
late.
it and you've journaled, you did your little, whatever the tool, I don't know what tool, I don't know. Everyone has their own tools, right? But check out, Emily, she's got cool tools, but it's,
tools for you.
but I don't know, for me it's like, you sit up there, you're like, what, you got no one else to call, it's midnight, 2 a.m., no one's up, you're screwed. So I sit there and then I'm like, okay, and then, but at the next day, I wake up, feel like death, but it's because I didn't sleep, and then you also, you moved on, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You had to go through that horrible, so like, I don't know, if I went and hung out with you and just was like, oh, I'm chilling with that, like, I wish I could
I guess it's not chilling. It's really difficult, actually, to do the work to get, like, the stuff is actually really hard.
Okay.
I think
that's where my misconception is.
What you just explained is your self bubbled up, right? And you had to deal with it in that moment. And what she's talking about is doing it on purpose and deeply.
But the way I get there is from that. So, like, I feel you. Yeah.
Cool. Lit.
You're normal.
And it's not supposed, like, when you talk about pressure, it's not supposed to be easy. That's one of the reasons, because it's hard. It's hard.
No, but
going
the
through it.
wording that you used was like alleviate pressure, relieve pressure. And my thing is, you have to crack. You have to be like at the middle of the night, boiling over, bubbling up, and it's like because you got to that point. It's the struggle of that builds character. It builds work ethic. It builds so many good qualities. I wish I could be like I feel like I don't know.
It's different for men and
generalizing.
women. It's definitely different for men and women. So it's.
I'm not saying women. I'm just saying like people that are of more spiritual sound, like understanding. I come from more of a Catholic traditional, fire and brimstone background.
Yeah, that results in
Yeah,
beating your wife a lot of time too. So I don't think that's very good
that's not where I'm going.
foundation.
But no, it's more like you have to suffer. Like you have to.
That's
you
so
can't.
Catholic.
It is. Dane's gonna have to whip out and just.
Yeah, you have to
frustration.
just hate yourself. You have to feel guilty. You can't just be like, and it's like when I look over at more like healing spiritual people. They're always, hippy dippy, flip floppy, having a good time.
It's like, how dare you be happy?
I hate that about myself. I
Stressed.
hate that. Like, why do I feel that I have to be worried
It's a
to be
program.
successful?
You've been brainwashed.
No, but it's not. You think it's just straight, because if I'm not worried, then I'm not going to do the work. That's my problem, though. Like, if I genuinely am not worried, then I
Then
don't
it's
do
work
it.
that
true.
then it's probably work that you hate, and you're trying to force yourself to do.
School,
like,
I guess, is
worry-
probably back history.
Worry
on that.
is someone chasing you with a stick, right, and saying you have to do this work, but you can strive for something, right, instead of running away, because you're being pressured with the hot poker. But if I want the wife and the kids and to have enough time to spend with them, I'm going to work hard so I can have that, not because I feel shame, right?
No, it's because I feel societal duty. That's the guy with the
But
poker stick
but if
that's
you feel like you have a
jabbing me.
duty to yourself, right, then you're gonna do better for society anyway, because you're gonna be a better, bigger person. But you have to believe that
Well, obviously
you
I'm
being
doing
a
it for
better.
myself too. Like it's
Yeah.
part of my societal duty, right? So I'm doing it for my, part and my reason for existence. That makes sense?
It does make sense, and this is something that's been very difficult for me to understand, because I've never had any self-doubt, shame. I love myself. Everything that's bad that has ever happened to me, and there's been lots.
Not Catholic. No, I'm
No,
just kidding.
I'm not Catholic. When
God
people
bless you.
when people do things to me, I think, what is wrong with them, right? And it did affect me on the outside, but I didn't let it change who I am, because like I'm good. I'm awesome. Why are they doing this to me? And I could get through it. And so it's so hard to see all my friends and family, and they're struggling to even like themselves. Like that's not, I didn't think that was normal. Doesn't everyone like themselves?
Yeah, that's not
Unfortunately not, man. Unfortunately not. But we're
We're only at 20 minutes.
No, 20 minutes left.
Oh,
Okay.
God. Okay. Let's keep her rolling. So, like, what's been your biggest struggle thus far? I know you just got started, so it's,
You mean in
everything.
business?
Yeah.
I kind of like, because I liked the conversation. I liked the conversation. So
Oh, my therapy session?
Yeah.
You
Right
gotta,
along.
you gotta get all that self-hatred out of you, Danny.
I like myself enough, I'm cool.
Enough.
It's fine.
I'm fine, I guess.
Yeah, we're doing alright. I'm not like a bad person.
no, I think I like everything you said. It's just, I think if we could tweak it, you'd feel better. So
I don't want to feel better. That's the best part. That's the problem.
Danny loves his head exploding at 2 a.m.
Dude, right,
frantically
furious
paranoid.
notes. You cannot look at that thing. It's locked up, dude.
I got a feeling I can't read it with the way you're
That's the devil's
scribbling.
journal, dude. Don't go in there. But no, it's, hey, I don't know.
because along my journey anyway. And
Now it's 74. Let's just tell you
And
that.
Danny's sweating. He's like, "Wait, we're gonna work on me now?
I'll go
I'm
check it.
uncomfortable."
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm chilling.
Should I wait till he gets?
Oh, I think you should check the temperature.
No, that's cool. We'll have a walkout. That's the first time we've had a walkout.
Yeah.
Clip it.
No, it's 72. It's just you.
Yeah, no, I'm just sweating because I was just
Oh,
realizing
no.
I'm
under pressure.
dirty. I'm doing my
Pressure.
dirty laundry out here on the pod. Like I realized this is
It's
a
not
therapy
bad at all.
session.
But I mean, that's kind of
I
the
feel
point.
like
That's the
everyone
point.
can relate though.
Everyone,
I know.
everyone,
That's why I'm willing to say.
all
That's like,
these
I'm not-
young professionals are literally going through this exact thing. They're trying to build a life, and they don't have the perfect machine to do it, because we're not machines.
And another thing a lot of people think is it's never gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
You gotta take the leap like she did, like I did, like a lot of the young.
Like all of us did in the room,
Yeah.
bro. You keep saying we're corporate, but bro, we all had to go out and be like, hey, we're gonna be corporate. We're gonna have to, you had to start your own business. I had to start my own business. You came into the family business, but you're still going and making your own clients.
Mhm.
We're still doing it for
Yeah.
ourselves. It's crazy.
It's always gonna be hard. It's always gonna be tough in the beginning, but you gotta do it. If that's what moves you, if that's what your passion is, and it's calling out to you, go for it. So,
Go for gold, get crazy, stay up till 2 a.m., write in your journal.
Well, there is that point too where a lot of young people they're in their first career, they're having those thoughts, and sometimes it isn't what they were meant to be doing. Some people find it, and yeah, they're stressed to be going, but also there's that point where you have to sit down and you're like, is this
The right
right
stress,
for
yeah.
me? I mean, I had the first job I was in, it was a company that I had that thought over and over, and it actually got completely bought out, so I didn't have to do anything on it on my end because it was such a scary leap. I remember driving into work every day, like looking at one of the signages for like the police department. I'm like, I'm just going to quit today. I'm just going to go join the police department or something. I just can't do this. I can't make another 50 cold calls today, and like I just can't do it. And I never did it because I was like, oh, this is stability. I got the paychecks coming in. I'm off in a state. I've moved halfway across the country, and I was just stressed. And I didn't know what to do or really talk to it. I just drank. And that was just not, and luckily I got out of there and made these big switches, but I think a lot of young people fresh out of college, they take the job that they think they're supposed to do, and it may be some high paying job or something, or like my case, it was a startup, so you're working these crazy hours and you're just like, I feel trapped in here, and it is a leap of faith to step away from that and be like, all right, let me try something different, even if it is the same field in a different job. It's just, some people crack under the pressure and it doesn't form up stronger. You fully crack, and it happens in this society where you just kind of fend for yourself. I mean,
You're just cracked out. And,
yeah.
Not that cracked out, but you know. Yeah.
Go to the right doctor. I'm sure they'll give you something.
Whoa! No, that's true.
Emily, no, I'm just kidding.
Don't do it.
No.
It's hard because you look for advice, and
Thanks,
there's
Quinlan.
not one line of advice that's right for everybody, because you might be in a career and you're like, I have to get out, this isn't good for me, and you're correct, because that's the whole career, that's what it's going to be the whole time. But then, financial advising, the first 5 years are totally different than the next 50. And so you have to realize, is this a career where I'm doing, if this is what I'm going to do forever, or are there stages? And if there are stages, what are they? Because I had to build a lot of skills that I was not comfortable with. Talking to strangers, what? On
Knocking
purpose?
on a stranger's door.
I walk across the street if I see somebody coming. I don't want to talk to anybody. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say something similar. So, like, let's say the example you had, a young person maybe watching is having a hard time. I feel really stressed, really boxed into this path that they're on. Like, how would I help them? So we want to have a vision for their life. First is get really honest with not what does your mom want, what does like your girlfriend want you to do, like how do you want your true life to be? Like, how do you want to feel when you wake up? What time do you wake up? Like, are you free to travel anywhere that you want to go? Like, how much money are we talking here? What do you think your real skills are? Like, what do you enjoy doing? Like, what, when you do it, makes you feel like really big and really open and happy, and then there's like star charts and stuff. And so, like, first we want to understand like you, because everyone's unique, and then we maybe go like 5 years, 2 years, and 1 year, right? So, like, to get to your 10, what do we need to do this year? So maybe it is grind out for a year, but at least you know why you're doing it.
And there's an end.
Yeah, and always tuning in with you. So I'm really big on meditation every day, even if it's just for a little, because opportunities can be, we talked about this, opportunities can be coming up, but if you're too busy, you will not even see them. So, like, you have to clear out space. So, like, you could meet someone that you call on the phone, something happens, and then you have, like, more money than you thought, So, like, it's not about the grind. So I do really think you got to step out of the grind for a little bit and allow the universe to provide new stuff for you. So you have to have some kind of trust. So that's why, like, stepping out into the unknown, people are really scared to do. But you start little, and then it, like, builds your faith up. And it's good habits. It's all about good habits. Like, if in 1 year you know where we're going, every day you say, I earn this much money, and you don't, this is the hardest part, but you don't think about how to do it. You just line up with the energy of being that person already. You dress like that person, your house is clean like that person, you talk like that person, you only pick friends that that person would have, and you start to live that life, and then it just appears. So like, it doesn't actually have to be that hard.
Yeah.
The only hard part is the like taking the step without the fear. It's like with, you know, you have the fear, but you're like just gonna trust anyway, and you're listening, and it's like, do it now, and you're like, okay, do it now. But that's the only hard part. Everything else isn't gonna be as hard actually. It's just that taking the steps. Yeah.
I can't even tell you how many times people said I got lucky. It's like, yeah, I got lucky because I worked hard and I knew what I wanted and I was open to the opportunity when it came.
Yeah, like you'll still work hard, but it's not gonna feel like you're dying inside.
Yeah.
You're gonna be kind of excited actually.
Yeah.
How did door knocking feel?
It felt absolutely terrible.
Like you were dying inside. Let's
Like I
not
was
joke.
But
it
if you
worked
came to me
so
before
well.
that and you said, I'm really fearful of door knocking, first we would try to understand like why. Why are you afraid to knock on someone's door?
The people.
People suck.
Because it sucks.
It's
Period. Have you ever door knocked?
No.
I've door knocked. Horrible.
No, I'm sure that it
You get
is.
things thrown at you.
But,
Dogs chase you.
but there's a reason that appeared in your life and not in mine. So it's to teach you something
Yeah.
that you're like you have a hard time with. So like, did you not? I don't know. Like
I'll tell you because I figured it out. I did think about that because I had to do that or I would not succeed. And I figured out it was that I thought they would judge me for showing up at the door. And
Judgment. Fear of judgment.
once I realized that, I also realized I don't want to be the type of person that cares what other people think about me. And so I started living that, and it worked out so much better. Like literally, some guy turned his sprinklers on me, and I just walked right through him. I was like, "Thank you." It's 98 degrees out. Someone else told me like, "Go home. This doesn't work." Like, I just got your neighbor's phone number. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. So yeah, to understand why you hate something is good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's intimate.
Yeah.
We have to understand our fears and where they come from.
Yeah.
Because it will help you get to where you want to get.
Yeah.
If you're really truthful with yourself and you're trying to build a company, build a business, you really have to be honest with yourself and see what you have to do to get there and make it work. And it was difficult for me, I'm sure for all of you guys in the beginning when you're starting, it's hell, like door knocking.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be easy in the beginning, but you make it work. Makes you the stronger and a better.
Like I really didn't want to start TikTok. I did like 2 weeks ago, literally, and because I have a client that's 21, and she's like, "You have to get on TikTok." So like I could feel in my stomach like I didn't want to get on TikTok. Like why? But like why am I so afraid of TikTok? And I think I had like fear. I didn't. So much stuff I have to learn. I don't know how to do it. There's all these like little trends and stuff, and like I don't have time.
You might be bad at it at first.
I might be bad at it. And then you have to then you have to be like, well, wait, no, like I can learn new things, and like so many people do it, and like it doesn't have to be perfect. And if people judge me, I don't have to care. If I don't get a lot of likes, whatever, I'm learning and I'm evolving, so I don't have to put so much pressure on it. And so like if you change the way you look at something, it's not as hard.
Yeah.
And now I don't really care.
Yeah, I heard someone say, if I don't want to be like you, then I'm not going to be mad when you judge me or when you look down on me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want your life.
Yeah.
Why would I care what you think?
Yeah.
Because I see so many people out here that want the surface level stuff. They want the status, the house, the car, and then they're miserable.
Yeah.
Well, they think it's going to make them happy.
Yeah.
Everything we've ever seen growing
Yeah.
up is this will make you happy. You
Exactly.
have 3 kids, have the big house, the shiny car. That's all that's important. Are you working 80-hour weeks? That's not important. It's
Yeah.
all about the things you have, but very materialistic.
For some people, like you took a trip and how did you feel about it?
Yeah, but it was like wasn't the things though. It was just getting outside.
Getting outside,
It was just
nature, or
yeah.
you fishing. It's those little things that will actually make you happy. A lot of people
Mhm.
think all the material stuff will make
You know
them
how
happy.
happy it makes me to help my clients, dude.
Of course, that's,
Happier than fishing with your dad?
That's helping people, and that will always.
It's all part of those sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it really is.
Helping people will always make you feel better, but that's what business is about. It's getting into something that you're actually helping people, that you're actually making the world into a better place.
By doing what you're good at.
Exactly.
And that's a wrap, baby. So do what you're good at. Help people out. Check out Emily Rogers, founder of Soul Aloe LLC.
Learn a new word today.
We're learning, baby. Come check us out next month. We'll see you guys next
What's
time.
what's your website?
Solalo.com.
All right.
Super easy. Keep it simple, stupid. Have a good one. See you guys next month.
Thank you guys.
Cool.
Thank you.